Welcome to the Faith AV training video. We are so grateful that you have chosen to help us in worship with our audio and visual. To begin, let's start with how to turn things on. We start here, working our way in with the sound system. You start by turning on this button. Then, moving below, down to the ground, we turn on this button. This wakes up the whole sound system, and you will see that the board all then lights up. From there, as we make our way in the AV booth, we want to turn on this TV first, which is this standby button on the end. Press that, and the TV turns on. Then we'll make our way over to the computer and camera. Starting with the camera, you want to pull this down to turn the camera on. The camera is preset to automatically connect with the computer, so once you turn it on, there's not much you need to do besides looking in the screen here and making sure that everything is within the white square. If you need to zoom in or out, it is these buttons here. Either way, zooms in one way and zooms out the other. Moving on to the computer. You will need to log in by using our password, which is HP27F. Enter. Around the AV booth, we have sheets here that tell you everything you need, including passwords and things like that. So once the computer is up, you want to open Google Chrome. We open Chrome and church streaming so that our live stream will work. As that opens, you will see a box here, and it will tell you that you're offline. And if a live stream is scheduled, which our office administrator takes care of, it will say here a countdown to when the service begins. As long as you see that there is a service scheduled, you need to do absolutely nothing. When the right time comes, the camera will connect to the computer and we are good to go streaming wise. If for some reason it is not scheduled, you would need to create a stream by going to create an event, and you would need to put in information to get that stream going. So we would put in worship, test. You would select whatever preacher you would like or select none. Category, you click worship and then click off of that. Location would be Faith Lutheran Church. Then you scroll down and you select the time and the end time, the date, start time, date, end time. We try to do 5 minutes before the service begins and 15 minutes after to give a little leeway. After that, scroll to the bottom and click Save and Next. On the second page, you want to make sure it says live, that our Sunday rotator announcements are playing. If you'd like, you can enter in something here. We'll just say welcome to worship. And then save and next. And then here we need to make sure that it's not a draft, that it's published, and then we tell it what Facebook channel to go to, which is Faith Lutherans. Save and done. You'll come here and you'll see now that worship will begin in 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 50 some seconds. Again, you don't have to do anything from this position. Next, what we'll do is open Proclaim. Double click at the bottom. As this is coming up, this is also something that is pre-done by our office administrator. In order to make sure you have the current week, you go to File, Open Recent, and click on the upcoming, or the Sunday that it is. That will then open Proclaim. And in order to have it ready for worship, all you need to do is click over here to On Air. And it should change on this screen this way, but then when we turn on those screens, what you see here will be up there. So let's turn on the screens. Find the remote, and you'll want to point the remote at the screen and double click the red button. You'll do it for one and then the other. Sometimes you might need to go up and stand under the projector screens or projectors themselves to do this, but with time you can do it just back here. Now let's chat about the soundboard. Once it is turned on, you'll need to do a couple things. First, where it says main here, these are the main speakers for church. You're going to want to make sure that we're not muted. If it's muted, it's red. If it's off, it's on. Then you'll want to slide the main speakers up to about -5 to 0, somewhere in that range. Then there are just a few channels that you'll use regularly. First, in channels 1 through 16, a lot of these are across here are for the band, but towards the end here, you're going to want piano, congregation, and lectern. Make sure that the lectern is muted when we first start worship, and turn that on when the assisting minister is reading the lessons or the prayers. When they are speaking, you'll want to adjust them based on their volume level, and make sure that this does not go above 0 and -5. You don't want the sound of the lectern or any channel to be higher than the main. Otherwise, you'll get feedback. So try to keep that lower if you can. You really don't need to touch the congregation or the piano. Those are preset. And so just leave them as is. But be sure to turn the lectern off when not in use. Then if you come to channels 17 through 32, this is where the pastor will be and the wireless microphones, as well as handbells. So the first things you're going to want to make sure is to turn the pastor on and off. Pastor Jess tends to turn the microphone on and off herself, but if we have a guest pastor, make sure that you are muting them when they are not speaking and unmuting them when they are. Again, controlled through here, not to go higher than it needs to. During joys and concerns, our ushers will pick up the green, blue, and yellow microphone. Either make sure to turn those on for folks and adjust them down here based on what color they are. Then handbells. When the handbells are playing, we want to make sure these are on. Otherwise, we need to keep them muted. We keep them muted because when we turn them on, sometimes we can pick up a Hispanic radio station and it will interfere with worship. So always make sure that these are muted unless the handbells are playing. That is all you need in those channels. The other thing to check is the aux in. Here you want to make sure the aux 3 and 4 are muted. That is for the computer. So if we are playing a video through the computer, you need to turn them off or unmute them. If we're not playing anything, go ahead and mute them so that we don't get any sound effects from the computer. You shouldn't need to touch anything else on the soundboard. Kevin Peters is someone who knows all the ins and outs of all this, and he can tweak the system if needed, but you just need those basic functions each Sunday. Proclaim is our program to lead us through worship. A couple of things to note here. Once you have it on air, everything that you see on this screen will be projected up on the projectors. Now, in the pre-service loop, these will automatically advance slides, so you don't need to do anything. Then at 9 o'clock, it will automatically move to this welcome slide. If for some reason the pastor is ready to start worship before 9 o'clock, go ahead and click down here on the welcome and then begin worship. In order to advance through the slides, you can do 3 different things. You can click individually on each slide, or you can click these big arrows to advance the slides, or if you want to, all you have to do is press the over arrow and they will advance. I like to use the over arrows because then I can go back and forth as easy as I need to. But then I can also click anywhere in the service and move us along as well. Note that it is helpful to scroll this side down so you can see all the elements of worship. And you can also scroll across here to see the rest of worship as well. When worship is over, you need to do a few things. First is turn the camera off, which is pushing that up. We turn the camera off and that will immediately shut down the live stream feature. And so the folks at home won't watch everyone leaving the sanctuary. Then you'll need to go in Proclaim and click on air. It'll take us off the big screens and then close down Proclaim by going to Proclaim, quit Proclaim, and it will shut itself down. You can do the same for the live stream. You can go ahead and quit Chrome, and then you can leave the computer as is. For the soundboard, there's nothing you need to do with it besides take the cover and cover it up. But then we'll come over to this part of the sound system and we start from the bottom and work our way back up. So all the way down here, you will press this button, leave that one on, and then come to the top here and turn that off. After you have done that, come to the TV behind, do the standby button again to turn it off. And then we need to turn off the projectors. Taking the remote, you can stand back from the back again or up front. Double click the red button till one goes off, then do the second. And now you have shut down after worship.